Nicole again. I am live at the WBS networking group today, and what an amazing morning it has been. I've listened to Caroline, and she is coming on board live on air with me on the show. I want to welcome Caroline. Caroline,
hello.
Welcome to the show, Caroline.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for the lovely presentation that you
No
did this
problems
morning.
at all.
Could you tell our viewers exactly what it was that you were sort of educating and inspiring and motivating all the, the attendees today?
Of course. So today I was really concentrating on tips and tricks on how you can get as organised as possible.
Wow.
So essentially we have so much stuff in our days and we have so many things on our to-do list. So I was sharing some tips on how you can write things down, how you can make sure you prioritise them and identify the things that you might have on your list that you may need to reassess. Now the reassess ones are normally the things that you either don't know how to do, really don't want to do, or you just don't have the budget to do, and I think as business owners a lot of us have that.
Yeah, I think that most of our audience that are watching, Caroline, they're either business owners, they're entrepreneurs, or you may be a professional working for a corporate.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
I guess that you called yourself a very interesting title.
Yeah.
So what was that?
Yeah, so I call myself a life assistant because I really don't believe in a lot of cases there isn't a thing as like work and life. They both creep into each other so often.
Yeah.
So the work that I do with my clients is often fitting into both spaces. So I might be working on the blog that they need to release for this week's article, but at the same time I'll be reading the school newsletter for their kids and putting that into the Google Calendar so they don't forget things, and they make sure that they kind of stay on top of all the things that life's throwing at them.
Yeah, I think that in Australia, if you're actually a woman in business, you've got a lot to handle, haven't you, Caroline?
You do.
Unlike some of the countries, maybe India or maybe Sri Lanka, where they've got lots of maids.
Yeah,
and
my parents had a maid and a nanny when we lived in Mauritius.
Oh, you're Mauritian, are you?
Mauritian.
Wow.
It's funny because we've lived in Australia nearly all my life, and my kids, when they hear that we had a maid and a nanny, they're like, "Why did Meme and Pepe move us from Mauritius?" I'm like, well, yeah, we might have had a maid and a nanny, but we didn't have all the amazing things we have in Australia. The opportunities here are brilliant. So yeah.
I know in those countries, if you're a woman in business, like you said, we know that they had maids and they got drivers and they got cooks and they got laundry people. So when you're a woman in business in Australia, having someone like you, you actually, what are you solving for them?
Essentially, it's about giving them the time that they need and giving them control of their lives.
Right.
So holding on to that mental load of, okay, Johnny's got a birthday party to go to this weekend and I've got to go get that gift, and wait, where's the party and how long it's going to take us to get there, but wait, my husband's going away for work and blah, 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 and your brain just starts to get fuller and fuller and fuller and fuller. Now, what I do is I come in and I start just taking some of those little things away, the things you're really comfortable with me taking away. So sometimes people really want to be doing their family stuff. They want to take their kids to Kmart and go through and pick the gift, but they don't want to be researching to get a new cleaner for the house, or they don't want to be, like, let's say they need a new mobile phone plan, they don't want to be reading through the Telstra and Optus and Vodafone websites to try and work out which one's going to be best for them. So they give me the brief, I give them the top three, and then they say, yep, that's the one I want. I do some of the legwork and then I dial them in, or sometimes I can sit on hold with Telstra, get everything set up and then dial you in when it's time, so you can do the last bits and pieces that need the authorization. So essentially that's half an hour of your life that you can just go and do what you want to be doing. Yeah.
I feel lighter already. I feel, after listening to you, I started to feel a lot more lighter because, we tend to do burnout when we're women in business and that. I mean, it's not just women in business that you cater for. You do
very much not. It can be anyone. It's really just anyone that really is feeling the load of the day-to-day, and sometimes it may just be a short period of time. It might be that they've got a big project that they're pushing out, or someone's away at work and they're doing double the load at work, so they just need help for a few months. Sometimes it's ongoing, so there's some clients that I meet with and it's every week for a couple of hours, and I do a few things for them and anything new that comes up. And,
wow.
So everyone needs a life assistant.
That's exactly. How did you get involved? How did you get started?
So I have a background in event management, so hence why my brain can do multiple things at once and work on multiple projects. So I've worked on big international events, and I think when you've got that level of pressure and you've got that level of responsibility, because the client is expecting that you're going to produce the things that they've got in their brain. So having those natural skills has always really helped. But why I started the business is I was sitting at an event similar to this. It was a networking event, and the subject was women and finance. So they were talking about how women aren't great at looking after their personal finances. They often get to their 60s and 70s and they haven't looked after their super because they may not have worked for a period of time when they've got kids and that sort of thing. And I was sitting thinking, oh wait, I haven't got my will up to date and I really need to check my super. And I had some really big ticket items on my list. And I thought, oh, but I'm really time poor. Who can help me with this? And I looked at VAs and I looked at a few things, but I couldn't find anyone that was really personal, that would really spend time with me to get to know me and my life, and hopefully take off some of the other things off my hands as well. Hence why I thought, I've found a gap in the market where, I needed a life assistant. So essentially, then I became a life assistant.
How do you think that it's going to be looking like in the future? Because I think more and more people now are starting to get used to the idea of outsourcing, delegating. So where do you think being a life assistant is it going to grow even more?
Yeah, so that's what I'm definitely hoping that I can provide to my clients and their network. So what I've found is a lot of the work that I get is word of mouth, where I spend time with someone and then they say to their friend or their whoever, oh my goodness, Caroline came in and she did this and she did that. And I've got a client that when I met her, she had something like 1,800 emails in her inbox, which made me break out in hives a little bit because it's the opposite of what I'm like. But then now when I catch up with her, she's like, I've only got 10 emails in my inbox and this is so organised and I've done this and I've worked on this, and she's so proud of herself. And I haven't done all that much. I've just given her some tools and I've given her the confidence to say, you don't have to be in this mindset anymore. You can start being more organised if you decide to categorise your day and really start prioritising things and start pushing aside the stuff that you really don't want to be doing, shouldn't be doing.
The kids? No, not the kids. Start pushing this.
Maybe.
No, you had a very good strategy that you're using
delegating
in your own household.
Yes.
I was wondering if you could share that with some of the guests. Some of the viewers out there must be watching this that have children.
Yes.
Caroline has this amazing strategy that she's using in the house.
Yep.
Would you like to share that with our...
So I have another business and I have a lot of staff. I have had a lot of staff in that business, and it's funny that the tool that I'm about to share is the same one I use in business as I do in the household, because it's really just a tool about people. So it's about understanding that when you're delegating a task, you need to ensure that you are making sure that information is really clear. So invest the time, make sure that they understand exactly what you're after and the timelines and the expectations of the task. So let's say something needs to be done by 12 noon on Friday, make sure that they know that that's the timeline. Get them to repeat it back to you, get them to repeat back what the task is, what the outcome is. But the key in that is ensuring that you have a checkpoint kind of halfway through. So as opposed to only saying, yep, I'll see you on Friday, and then that's it, no communication, no time to check in. You check in maybe halfway through, maybe on the Wednesday, and that way you can say, yep, okay, I'm really struggling with this, I need help, I didn't really understand that part of the project. So when you get to the end of the week, no one's feeling like they're out of the loop. If things don't go to plan, because sometimes these things happen, no one's getting frustrated because everyone's been really clear with their communication. No one's ever set up to fail. So as I said, I use this at home with my children, and I'll say, I need this done by this time, and then halfway through I'll be like, hey, just checking, how are you going with folding that washing that I asked you to do?
Wow.
And, do you need help? And I've got a little one, he's only 6, and sometimes it's like, I can't get the thing to work, or I can't fold the shirt because he's still learning some of these skills. And I'll say, okay, let me spend some time to show you again, and I'll come back and check on you.
Oh, lovely.
That sort of thing. So he feels empowered to know he's learning and he's doing it on his own, but he also doesn't feel like he's completely stranded, and then I'm going to walk in at the end and go, why isn't this done yet? When he's had the opportunity to learn and be helped along the way.
Wow. And I think that when we're actually owning businesses, it's all about control as well. And when you're not in control of your life, it can tend to show in your business. And obviously when you're going out there and networking and meeting, having business appointments, it's showing. So having your service is actually putting things into control of some sort, and you're actually helping. Do you do the actual deliverables, or do you organise it?
A bit of both. So I'll help the client go through and write the big to-do list. I do a process, especially when I'm going to be doing home things and work things. I do a process that I call the Pandora's box.
Wow.
And we go through everything. I pick it all apart, but I don't just like leave it in a mess, because then I say, okay, let's get it done. But the Pandora's box is really great, and we kind of open up all the crevices of all the things that you need help with, and then I'll go through, get a list together. We'll go through and say, okay, I really want to action these things, and then sometimes it's, I really want to action these things, or no, I really want you, Caroline, or the life assistant, to action these things. And so we put them on different lists, and then once we've got those on those lists, then there are deliverables for me. So it may be, hey Caroline, can you call those 3 suppliers? The best example I give is buying a new couch. So we need a couch, it needs to be this texture, this colour, this shape, this budget. I'll go out and source the best top 3. I'll make sure that they meet your needs, and then you can go and test them with your family and come back and say, yep, this is the couch we want, and then I'll call the store, get a better price, get it delivered, get it installed, so on and so forth. So then you can just go do the thing you want to be doing instead of hunting for the couch. That's
an amazing time saver. That thing is the time. Well, you know, I was really taken back by your branding today.
Oh, thank you.
Caroline gave everybody a lovely notepad, and this is her card. Do what you do best and outsource the rest. Lovely branding. And she gave one of my favourites, lovely chocolate.
Now, these chocolates are amazing, and I'll have to give a little shout out to Cisco Chocolate. So they've got a store in Hawthorne, and they've also got a store in Eastland Shopping Centre. They make the best chocolate, but they also do corporate stuff. So as you can see, it's got my logo embossed in there with this beautiful gold kind of shimmer on it. They make these hot chocolate spheres where you pour the hot chocolate on and then the marshmallow pops out of it.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow.
So if you want good chocolate, go to Cisco.
Yeah. So I think that we need to tell our viewers that the name of your business is Organise, Curate and Design. I really like that name.
Yeah.
How did you come up with that?
So most people will work out that the initials say OCD, and we always giggle and say, oh, Caroline's a bit OCD, and that's fine. But the business name actually is the methodology behind what I do. So I organise, I come in and I help you write your big list, and then I organise it and I say, okay, I'm going to do this stuff, you're going to do this stuff. It's going to be done in this order, in these timelines, whatever else. We curate those lists, and then we say, now, that really great idea you had 3 years ago, is it still relevant? Does it still need to be on the list? Can we just get rid of it? You know, that lovely piece of, filing that you've got, that receipt for the iPad Nano that you bought 10 years ago, do you really need that? No, let's get rid of that too. So there's things like that I'm curating, and I'm making sure that we start to declutter and start to kind of give you a bit more headspace.
Yep.
And then I work with you to design your new life. Wow. So it's designing the new mindset where you make better decisions about how you utilise your time, better decisions on what you can outsource, and start making sure that the time you have spare, you're doing the things you love. So you're spending time with your family, you're going on holiday, you're just going for a coffee or calling your friend that you haven't spoken to in a few months, those sorts of things, because I've given you back that time.
Wow. You know what, folks, if you know somebody in your life and you're watching this and they're doing burnout and they're doing overwhelm and they're frustrated, please do like, comment and share this live video and get in contact with Caroline.
Definitely.
Now, Caroline, where can they find you?
So you can jump on the website, which is organisecuratedesign.com. On there you'll find all of our social media links, which is our Facebook and our Instagram. And the great thing is we have an online booking tool, which is on the website, but also on our Facebook page. So we have a minimum of a 2-hour booking. The rate is really affordable. It's $50 an hour. I've spent $100 on brunch before.
Wow.
So if I can spend $100
there you go,
and get
folks.
2 hours worth of stuff done, it's pretty cool. And you can jump online, and so even if you get to, it's 11 o'clock at night and you realise you need to get something done, you can jump online, find the next available spot, book it in, and it's done.
Wow, so that's fantastic. I really want to thank you for being on the
No
show
problem.
and helping all our viewers out there if they're wanting to organise, curate and design their new life. Please do contact Caroline. Caroline will put her details below
I'll comment
of
below.
her, your website and your Facebook and that.
Yep, definitely.
And she's really, really happy to help you
Yeah.
have a quality, I guess, life and enjoy your business as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I want to thank you for being on
Thanks
the show
so
today.
much.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye for now.